Study, reflect, and listen to the Lord. Let Him direct your steps. That's how you treasure each day. All right, so Nicole, we just covered talking about the armor of Christ, putting on the helmet of salvation and the breastplate of righteousness and the belt of truth and things like that. And so can you help us? What are some tools that you have, some oils basically that can help us equip ourselves and keep our bodies and our immune systems up?
Yeah, absolutely. That is such an important question. And I think that the first thing we have to understand is that our immune system is more than just, we think of it as viruses and bacteria and whether we pick those things up. But the truth is our immune system is responsible for our brain function. It's responsible for our hormone production.
Okay.
It's responsible for how our body responds to the environment.
Okay.
And so we have to start always with food.
Okay.
And what are we putting in our bodies? And
nutrition-wise,
is that helping or hurting us? And the scary part and the sad part about that is that the food we're eating today, let's say you're like me, I'm vegan. Okay. So let's say that you are vegan.
Okay.
And you're 100% organic.
Okay.
Being vegan and 100% organic today is completely different than being vegan and organic 50 years ago.
Okay.
Our soil composition has changed.
Yes.
Our food supply
has
changed. We have GMOs, we have MSGs, we have all these additives to everything. And so even if you are like me, plant-based, eating all the healthy things, your body's still going to be deficient.
Okay. So
supplementation is the first step.
I've heard that. Like if you ate an orange today versus one 50 years ago, I think you have to, I forget how many oranges we'd have to eat just to get the same nutritional value.
Exactly. So we can't possibly do that, nor should we have to work that hard to think about it. The bottom line is, and what drew me to essential oils and to the supplements specifically was the fact that I don't want to have to worry about whether my body is getting enough of what it needs.
You want to just know.
I just want to know.
So how can we know?
Okay, so the first step is to supplement. And so Doterra has actually, their number one product actually isn't even essential oils.
Okay.
Their number one product is actually their vitamin series.
Okay.
So it's called Lifelong Vitality. Okay. Now there's a vegan version and there's the regular people version. And let's just be clear.
Okay.
I'm a full supporter of the eating of animals.
Okay.
I want to say that. We have a pig in a cow in our freezer.
Okay.
My decision was based solely on what my body can handle and what it can't.
Sure.
And so being in tune with your body is important. But when I started supplementing, that's when I figured that out.
Okay.
Because even with the supplements, I still found myself tired in the middle of the day, and I still found myself ebbing and flowing with moods and fluctuations and all of those things. And I still found myself, even though I wasn't getting sick as often, and I didn't find myself getting down and out as long when I did get sick, I just didn't feel well.
Okay.
And so our gut health is extremely important. And my gut was telling me something is in my diet that shouldn't be. Okay. So I began, switching over to plant-based.
Okay.
Did that a year ago, and I feel fantastic.
Wow.
I feel absolutely
that's what your
fantastic.
Body needs,
yes, it was what it needed. Yeah. So I even switched over to the vegan supplements. But what that's doing for our body is actually reducing inflammation as the number one response.
And Dr. Cole has talked a lot about that.
Yes.
So we go and get he's our chiropractor.
Oh my goodness.
For those of you that don't know.
And for the ladies out there, if you find yourself, these are just a few symptoms to look for. If you have store your fat in your belly, if you find yourself tired and groggy, if you find yourself gassy, bloated, just feeling kind of puffy, you have inflammation.
And that's me.
You have inflammation.
I have it.
And so the LOV is designed to help reduce that inflammation.
And what's that?
And that's the vitamins.
Okay.
Yes, I use the acronym, Lifelong Vitality. So Lifelong Vitality will actually start reducing your inflammation.
Okay.
Now the side effect of that is what's really cool. The side effect of reducing inflammation is an enhanced immune system.
Okay.
So your immune system will actually perform better. We have two levels of our immune system. We have the primary and we have the secondary.
Okay.
The primary immune system is what's always ready to fight off the bacteria and viruses, those things that we're come into contact with. The secondary system is actually what's in reserve. So it's like the backup, right? But it's much larger.
It's a good explanation.
And the secondary is like the part that's going to take on that inflammation, so that when the primary is like, woo, I'm exhausted, I need some help. However much, the amount of inflammation that you have is going to determine how quickly that secondary steps in. So if you're really wanting to protect yourself from seasonal threats, from things like, that we deal with every season, it comes around. The kids get back to school and everybody's coming home already with things.
Right.
And so if we want to protect our bodies, the first step is to supplement. And that's where lifelong vitality comes in.
Okay.
And then from there, we offer other supplementation that kind of goes hand in hand, partners with that. For our gut health, we like to take a good probiotic. Ours is actually a prebiotic and a probiotic. That's also going to reduce inflammation. Your goal is to overwhelm your body. There are 1 trillion bacteria in your body. Wow. You are actually more bacteria than human. So you want to get down to it. So we want to overwhelm our body with good bacteria, and a probiotic's going to do that. Okay. And then the second thing that we want to do is digest our food fully. Okay. That's going to reduce inflammation as well.
And get out what little bit of nutrition's left in the soil.
Exactly. And so the Terrazyme that we have is a food enzyme. It's a digestive enzyme, which 100 years ago they didn't really need, because they were eating from the ground where they lived. Right. And that's a whole other discussion on our biome and all of that. But suffice it to say that we have taught kids how to eat in 10 minutes or less. The school systems teach us that, and teachers too. Right. And so I still
have the bad habit of eating fast.
Oh my goodness.
Because of those years.
So think about how much of that food is going into your body that's not even digesting. It's chunks of food. Right. So the Terrazyme breaks the food down. So now what we're doing is we're breaking down the food. We're overwhelming with good bacteria. We're reducing inflammation. So now suddenly, not only do we see an enhanced immune system, but we also see energy. We see good cardiovascular health.
So those are the side effects.
Those are the side effects.
Okay.
What amazing side effects, right? You see your gut health is going to start to improve. Your immune system will function better, so that when you come into contact with somebody who's sneezing or coughing,
you're going to.
Everybody's going to. Your body is going to have not only a strong first defense, but an even stronger second defense to be able to help that. Okay. And that is why when we get sick, I don't panic. I have tools. We're going to take extra probiotics. We're going to use extra On Guard, because On Guard's our protective blend that's designed to enhance our immune system. I love it. We diffuse it all the time.
Do you know it even helps my daughter's acne?
Oh, I'm not surprised at all. Yeah. I'm not surprised. That's amazing.
It is.
I love hearing things like that. That's like a hack that I didn't even think about. So that's a really good one.
That's one that you don't think of.
That's a good hack, yeah. And so all the oils in that blend were specifically created and chemically, structured, not synthetic chemicals. These are natural occurring chemicals in the plants. But they were specifically put together, those oils, to be able to protect our immune system. Okay. So we use On Guard for everything. Hand sanitizer. It's our cleaner for our house. Right. It's our drink in our hot tea. Okay. It's our, if we need to clean something up, we don't reach for the synthetic store-bought wipes. Right. We make our own. True. And it's amazing. So I know that everything my kids touch, it can go in their mouth and we're okay.
Right. And they're at that age, aren't they?
Yes, they are. But we do the same things even as adults. That's true. You pick things up. And so the lifelong vitality is the first easiest step. That was easy. It was not even something I had to think about, because it worked so well in that very first month that I was on it. There's no questioning that this was the right thing to do.
And you did a great job explaining why.
I lost some weight. That was another nice side effect. I noticed that my thinking was clearer and crisper. So I could recall information much better. And those are all happy side effects.
Absolutely.
Who doesn't want that?
Exactly.
So I think when we look at protecting our immune system, we first have to look at, what are we doing for our bodies?
Helping it maintain. It's a machine. And we need it well oiled, literally. We need it well maintained, and then it can perform at optimal levels.
I mean, as a mom, when you think about how much we give to our kids, how much time, how much energy, how much do we sacrifice for our children? If you're not a mom, you're probably still a natural born caregiver, right? And the whole point behind us being so giving is that it brings us joy. Right. But we're also the first ones to give so much that we don't give anything back to ourselves.
Right.
And
I see so many mothers
Yes.
they give and then they run out.
And they run out.
They're not replenishing.
They're
and that's
exhausted.
what I was guilty of a while back.
Yes, we all are. We have
They
all
could burn the
done
candle
it.
at both ends. I mean, you can hear all kinds of things.
Absolutely. And I think
Cause people
that
get in that position.
I think that that's the worst thing that we can do.
Right.
You know, the new
'Cause then you're
buzzword
no
is
good for anything.
the new buzzword, self-care.
So-
I almost hate that phrase because it brings to mind like pedicures and manicures and all of that. But I'm going to challenge you to think that self-care is actually first taking care of yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And as a busy mom,
Mm-hmm.
what I can do is I can take those supplements in the morning with my water.
Right.
I can do that.
And that's
easy.
the thing. I've started drinking more water and I've started walking. Those two basic things help me feel better and I have more energy.
Absolutely. And you're
but it
boosting
takes
your
time.
immune system.
I've got to take time
Yes.
and know that I'm worth it to do it for myself.
Absolutely. And that is something that, I had a conversation actually with a friend the other day, and she was kind of talking to me just about a little bit of exhaustion that she'd been feeling and all of these things. And I said, it sounds to me like you're where I was a while back. And that is when we get down and tired and stressed, we look everywhere for all these different answers. Oh, this is the next quick fix. This is going to fix all the problems. Oh, this is going to be it. I need to change my diet. I need to exercise more. I need to drink more water. Yes, you do. But your very first thing that you need to do is you need to say, God, I'm out.
That's right.
I'm out. Fill my cup.
That's
Because
right.
when that happens, when we take that to God, He's going to give us back the spiritual that we need, the physical that we need, the emotional that we need. And in a time in my life where I was out, I had nothing left. I was so done. I had spent so many years trying to make my dreams become a reality.
Right.
God brought Doterra.
Wow.
And God gave me this amazing gift. And
It's easy because you love it. You can tell. You eat, breathe, and live it.
Yes.
And so it's, you didn't have to have notes for us to talk today or anything. This is all stuff that just comes secondhand to you now because you've shared it with so many people. You've helped change their lives. And so I that's why it's neat to see that overflowing from you.
Yes, and thank you for that. That's the biggest blessing. I think I always felt a little bit like, where does God want me to serve? I can serve these students and that's fine.
Right.
But woman to woman or, couple to couple, how do we serve each other?
Right.
How do we do that? And doTERRA brought that to me. doTERRA gave me a way to serve other people and to share not only my testimony and how Christ saved me, but also how that restructured the way that I view my body, the way that I view this life that I've been given.
Fantastic.
Because it's a blessing.
It is, and it's only one.
Oh,
you only get
it's
one.
only one, and I want to be here for a long time for my kids. I
want to make the most of it.
Exactly. So I think that we owe it to ourselves. It was hard. When I first came home, there wasn't a big difference in pay because the challenge was match your income and then you can stay home, right? So challenge accepted. I'm the cheaper is high on my top 5 strengths too. So challenge accepted. But I think what really made the shift for me was this idea of, if I'm going to stay home, I'm like, okay, God, if I'm going to stay home, if I'm going to do this, if this is going to be my life's, mission field, at least for now, because it can always change, but I don't see that happening, but it could. But I think what really came to light for me was that God gave us exactly what we needed to be able to maintain the same lifestyle we'd had. And that included, and that was one thing that I said, I will not stop buying my supplements. I will not stop buying my oils. I will not give those things up because they mean so much to our family. So here I say that to say, anyone can afford essential oils. Anyone can afford supplements. And if there's one area of your life that you're going to cut back on, it should probably be the coffees, the $5 coffees versus,
sodas,
stop paying for the things that don't serve your body and start putting that money towards something that will serve your body. But again, you have to believe that change can really happen. And that's the biggest struggle, I think, for Americans in general. But, it's just that idea of, am I worth it? And where do I find the money for that? But
we fall prey to the advertisements that say it's quick and convenient. That doesn't mean it's what's best for us.
Exactly. I can feed our family a McDonald's pretty cheap. I really can. But is that what's going to serve their bodies best? You know, it all goes back to that.
That's right.
Yeah.
Thanks for joining us at Nation Station. To find out more, just click on any of these links and subscribe to our channel.